Here at the AnomicAge, we know that these times of uncertainty are stressful. It is incumbent upon all of us to put our fears first and bow down to government tyranny. Gone are the days of freely leaving your home, working, and social interactions. In exchange for safety, we will trade liberty. At the AnomicAge, we understand. However, just in case you want to get off your knees and stop being a sniveling coward, check out the JohnAge project at AnomicAge.com.
Meet Ann Morrissey, who is here with her daughter, Dareth. Dareth is 17 years old. Mrs. Morrissey, I don't have to tell you that most parents would be extremely depressed if their daughter came home one day looking like this. I assume that was your response shock, anger, depression? What was it?
I was extremely angry. I really went bananas.
Yeah, how old was she when this happened?
Possibly 13, 14 years old.
We're talking like it's a disease, isn't it?
Well,
yeah. How did she explain it to you, Mrs. Morrissey?
there was very poor communication until we went into counseling. And it almost broke up our family. But through counseling and Serena, I can understand it better.
What do you understand?
That she feels like she doesn't want to be like everyone else, and she wants to be her own person. And through the dress code and her lifestyle, she's expressing this. It doesn't conform with our rules, but we're learning to cope, and it's a very, very difficult thing. Extremely difficult.
Dareth, let's let you talk for yourself. You're from Long Beach, California.
I just can't handle being like everybody else because that's what everybody else wants, you know. Just because somebody else does something does not mean that I have to do it. You know, I have my own morals and ideals, and I go by them.
Are you drug-free, Dareth?
Yes, I am.
Is this a political statement, then? Do you have some misgiving about the society that you see?
Yeah, there's a lot of problems, you know. A lot of the people are really aware of what's going on, you know, and I don't like it, you know. There's a lot of problems.
What?
I don't like the way society is based.
What bothers you? Give us some of the misgivings you have.
The rich, the poor, the people starving, the wars, you know. Why can't, you know, everybody just get along and just live their life?
Here at the AnomicAge, we know that these times of uncertainty are stressful. It is incumbent upon all of us to put our fears first and bow down to government tyranny. Gone are the days of freely leaving your home, working, and social interactions. In exchange for safety, we will trade liberty. At the AnomicAge, we understand. However, just in case you want to get off your knees and stop being a sniveling coward, check out the JohnAge project at AnomicAge.com.
Meet Ann Morrissey, who is here with her daughter, Dareth. Dareth is 17 years old. Mrs. Morrissey, I don't have to tell you that most parents would be extremely depressed if their daughter came home one day looking like this. I assume that was your response shock, anger, depression? What was it?
I was extremely angry. I really went bananas.
Yeah, how old was she when this happened?
Possibly 13, 14 years old.
We're talking like it's a disease, isn't it?
Well,
yeah. How did she explain it to you, Mrs. Morrissey?
there was very poor communication until we went into counseling. And it almost broke up our family. But through counseling and Serena, I can understand it better.
What do you understand?
That she feels like she doesn't want to be like everyone else, and she wants to be her own person. And through the dress code and her lifestyle. She's expressing this. It doesn't conform with our rules, but we're learning to cope, and it's a very, very difficult thing. Extremely difficult.
Dareth, let's let you talk for yourself. You're from Long Beach, California.
I just can't handle being like everybody else because that's what everybody else wants, you know. Just because somebody else does something does not mean that I have to do it. You know, I have my own morals and ideals, and I go by them.
Are you drug-free, Dareth?
Yes, I am.
Is this a political statement, then? Do you have some misgiving about the society that you see?
Yeah, there's a lot of problems, you know. A lot of the people are really aware of what's going on, you know, and I don't like it, you know. There's a lot of problems.
What?
I don't like the way society is based.
What bothers you? Give us some of the misgivings you have.
The rich, the poor, the people starving, the wars, you know. Why can't, you know, everybody just get along and just live their life?
Talon, Rio, and Chevy.
Propagating truth in a world of lies. You are listening to the JohnAge Project.
Trust no one. Trust no one. Trust no one.
You found it. You're here. You're headlong down the runaway train that is the AnomicAge, and I am your host, JohnAge. Happy to be back with you once again in the wee hours of the AM. Man, I love coming at you in the dark side, boy. The dark side of the AM, we're set at 2:37 Eastern Standard Time. I will be your tour guide this evening as we take a somewhat satirical journey down the path of murder, destruction, mayhem, and the extermination of human life on this planet. A forced march into obsolescence thrust upon us by a global satanic death cult of pedophiles. Check out AnomicAge.com if you've not already done so. Please like all of the likes. Subscribe to all the subscriptions. PayPal.me/AnomicAge. Patreon.com/AnomicAge as well. Please like all the likes. Subscribe to all the subscriptions. If you can do no more, please just share the links for this program. Got the iPhone app, the Android app, subscribe by email link, and so much more. We got the Cash App link, the Buy Me a Cup of Coffee, and everything else. Shout out to those people out there who are still hanging on as patrons. Thank you so much for not ditching me. I know this last year has been difficult. I can assure you, you don't know the half of it. Check it out, folks. We got a lot to get into this evening. I'm going to try to run through this like a buzzsaw. Title of tonight's episode, Information Breakdown Segment 460. So we got 460 in the quiver, so to speak, and we got a whole heck of a lot more just as far as shows. Let me see what the last one we did. 206 was the last show we did with Hernando Arce. And I know it's been a while. I promise I'm going to try to get some guests in here as well. If you don't like listening to me in the short term with the information breakdown segments, you can get the long term with all these lovely guests as well. So the title of tonight's episode, 460, Having Fun Watching Cars Burn. Having some fun watching cars burn. What you guys talking about? This is some people having fun watching cars burn. So what we're getting into this evening is the provocateur, just joke level gaslighting that's going on. Got so much of that to get into. I have a stinking and also sneaky suspicion that these videos are not going to work out. We'll see. Let's roll with this one. This is from ABC. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, then I'm going to Make it work. How's that? ABC News. Let's listen to this. This is good.
Large group of people. It could turn very volatile if you move law enforcement in there in the wrong way and turn what is just a bunch of people having fun watching cars burn into a massive confrontation and altercation between officers and demonstrators.
They're just having fun watching cars burn, folks. What are you getting excited about? ABC News said they're just some people that are having fun watching some cars burning. Come on. What's wrong with that? Everybody likes to watch cars burn. Just have fun, kick back, have a couple drinks. A little more MSG. Turn on those Dallas Cowboys on your TV, right? Yeah, just watching cars burn. Like the old Lennon song, just sitting here watching the wheels go round. Just sitting here watching the city burn down. Yo, if LA won enough, now it's popping off in Chicago, it's popping off in a few other isolated, commie-controlled mess holes across Los Estados Unidos. Yeah. All right, we got some more. Let's see what else we got. I was going to pull this one up. Let me get to this first, because I know somebody's thinking about Los Niños. What about the kids? What about the kids? I saw a little piece the other day, and this is a tactic. It's done by the right and the left, but I suppose those communist troglodytes on the left really get a kick at it, because it's always about the kids. It's always about los niños. Por amor de Dios, los niños, pobrecitos, los niños en el calle. Oh. It's getting crazy out there, folks. The poor children. And it showed his mother, an immigrant mother, wiping her child's face with La Bandera de Mexico. He was crying. Llorando así, no. Anyway, here's what I have to say about that. If you are stupid enough to bring your child out into this war zone of creepy that we got going on in LA right now, then you deserve nothing but pain. I'm sorry. Anybody that's going to endanger children by bringing them out into this nonsensical mess hole, your children don't deserve the pain, but you certainly do. Maybe that's a little bit callous. Perhaps that's a little bit much. I don't think so. So, if you don't know, now you know. Let's put something else on the screen here, folks. I don't want to listen to that clip again. Nay. We got more to say, because we got a little... by the way, this is just people watching cars burn. What's wrong with you? You don't want to get out there and have some fun, watch some cars burn? Come on. I mean, that's the same just completely moronic mindset as, it's just some guys out having a good time. They're just out raping some women. Come on, they're just having a good time. Thieves. These are just some guys, they're just taking some stuff from your house. That's okay. Come on. Murderers. These are just a couple folks out there, killing people. What's wrong with you? Are you not tolerant? All right, here's a gem from old Hills Clinton. Come on, we can't get enough of this. Can't get enough of Hills. Oh, my goodness. We have to pull it over. There we go. Goodness gracious. We want to get every solitary syllable. Gavin Newsom didn't request the National Guard be deployed to his state following peaceful demonstrations. It's just peaceful demonstrations. Some people out there burning some cars just having a good time. Trump sent them anyway. It's the first time in 60 years a president has made that choice. Did you forget the 90s when they were burning down the city because of Rodney King? Huh? Forget that, Hills? What, were you on the pipe? You were over there doing something with old Georgie, maybe Bill? Trump's goal isn't to keep Californians safe. His goal is to cause chaos because chaos is good for Trump. Pero por qué, Hills? Why? Why would chaos be good for Trump, you dolt? All right, back to the dung pile with Hills. Let's move on. There's so much more to cover. All right, what do we got? What the? And if you didn't catch this last time, I wanted to cover once again this time. Otra vez. This is the one I wanted to cover. Where is that? That lovely individual. That's her. Yeah. This is La Presidente de Mexico. Claudia Scheinbaum. I went over her pedigree last night, in case you're wondering, because Scheinbaum, sounds about as authentically Mexican as Schmidt or Wong. Wong? I got to tell you, I'm more... Don't say it. I'm not going to say it. Nope. Anyway, so Scheinbaum, whose grandpappy was, in case you missed it, anoche, this was a member of the Mexican Communist Party. That would be Kron Juan Scheinbaum Abramowitz. Yeah, that joker. Remember him? Yeah, member of the Communist Party, Ashkenazi Jewish descent. Yeah, that's Scheinbaum. So just in case you might have been thinking, whatever do you mean, John? Oh my goodness gracious sakes alive. But wait, there's more, because we really wanted to talk about this lovely lady, Karen Bass. Let's put old Karen Bass on the screen. Yep. That's her. Let's go full screen. Why don't we? But this is from several years ago, I believe. This isn't even recent. From The Atlantic in 2020. Biden ally Karen Bass explains her history with Cuba. Cuba por los gringos. Karen Bass went to work in Castro's Cuba. Yeah. So that's Karen Bass, the same person that is now mayor of L.A., a wonderful woman of color, who was blaming the chaos, the insurrection, the violence on ICE. Yeah, that's what the problem is. It's ICE. It wouldn't be those lowbrow, room temperature, brain dead types that are just following orders and destroying their city. Yeah, that wouldn't be the paid provocateurs that actually are paid by us, the taxpayers, via various NGOs. No, it's ICE's problem, says Karen Bass, commie Cuban Castro sympathizer at the very least, I'd say, and at best, definitely an agent of communist Cuba. But maybe that's a little too harsh for some folks. I don't know. In case you missed it, I mean, Trump came out today talking about how these provocateurs are breaking up the sidewalk and throwing these rocks at police cars and the like. Yeah, you want to see it. I know you do. So, yeah. I mean, that's pretty obvious, isn't it? But it gets even more fun because let's pull this up. Oh, come on. There we go. This is from Fox a couple of days ago. Fox host Sean Hannity asked Noam about pallets of bricks that he claimed mysteriously appeared at the protest. Well, my gracious, does this not sound reminiscent of the Summer of Rage from a couple years back, where BLM and Antifa were just so happened to find some bricks in Chicago and maybe some crates of guns too, and they just went to and fro everywhere they happened to go, spreading peace and love and violence. Violence, folks. Violence, ultra-violence. They got violence in their minds. I know that's a little condemned 84, I believe, for you. Those of you in the Oi community, shout out to you. So yeah, that's just happening. It's okay though, because it's peaceful, remember? Peaceful. Just peaceful. Let's run down some more of this nonsense. Folks, I got to tell you, I didn't even know who this person was. I really didn't. Dochi? Dochi? I'm sorry, I got to go back split screen. Dochi? Are you serious? Dochi? It's like Fauci, but more stupid. Dochi. This is at the BET Awards, in case you're wondering. Dochi calls out Trump administration. You got to catch this quote. This quote is priceless. Let me go full screen on the quote. Dochi calls out Trump administration in BET Awards. Oh, my goodness. Let's get the quote. Every time we exercise our democratic right to protest, the military is deployed against us. What type of government is this? Dochi, are you in there? Are the braids too tight for you, Dochi? Is that the problem? Are the braids too tight, Dochi? Is it really cutting off that much circulation to your brain? Por el cerebro? Yeah, we're not a democracy. Nay. That's just some democratic talking points that have been promulgated for the last 60 years. We're a republic. Say it with me, Dochi. Republic. You can do it. Come on. Yeah, we're a republic. And what it really means is that you have the right to peacefully assemble and peacefully protest. What you don't have the right to do is to destroy cities, burn down businesses, rob places, assault people, throw rocks at cars, drag people out of cars. You know, the stuff that the ilk of the communist garbage seems to just do. And no one seems to want to hold them accountable because it's under the guise of a protest. Well, you know, you could hack somebody up with a machete and call it a protest. But in fact, it's a murder. You see the difference there, Dochi? What a bunch of mess. Really is sad. Let's move on. Oh, we got one more. Let's go to the clips because I don't want to get too far afield. I know people are just dying for me to just cover the clips, and I am too. And I want to do my due diligence, cover the clips. So let's go into clip numero dos.
But let me be clear.
Oh, let me be clear.
Congressional Democrats stand in full solidarity with the residents of Los Angeles, with our immigrant sisters and brothers, and with the peaceful protesters who dare to speak out and who will support every effort to oppose this president's abuse of power.
That's right. By goodness, we support it all. And that was Representative Clark. I want to pull this up again. We're not going to listen to the whole thing. I can't bear it.
But let me be clear.
Let me be clear.
Congressional Democrats stand in full solidarity with the residents of Los Angeles, with our immigrant sisters and brothers, and with the peaceful...
Okay. Let me be clear. He's using lovely Barry Soetoro talking points. I'm sorry, she. Perdóname.
Protesters who dare to...
Can we get I wanted to stop it while we were at a clear point here because I would not ever want to cut off this fun. So this is Representative Clark, and I believe this is the Black Congressional Caucus, or at least members thereof. Take a look at this, folks. It's hard for me to not call this something very disparaging, but it's just so silly. And I'm trying to mentally prepare myself for covering the Maxine Waters clip because that's going to be even more lunacy than I can possibly bear. So this is Representative Clark. Am I just the only person that thinks that the individuals in this image are just totally gone? This looks like the special education edition of the Village People. This is really what this looks like. I mean, this is beyond the pale crazy. You got at least two people. I don't even know what some of these people are, for goodness sakes. I mean, you got at least two people up here that PETA should be upset about because some horse is bald somewhere. I mean, what in the world is going on here, folks? This individual in green, I have no earthly idea what to say about that. I mean, it's like a McDonald's commercial from the 80s where they try to include someone of every ethnicity. Look, I've got my Whopper too, and that's really what is up here. But it seems so much more deranged. Maybe it's just because of the cowboy hat and the person in the back with the green. I mean, it's hard for me to be nice, and I'm just going to be nice by shutting my trap on this one. So Representative Clark saying, point blank, all the Democrats are standing behind this peaceful love fest of violence because, after all, nothing says love like burning down a city. Just saying. Let's move on to the next clip. This is funny. I swear it's hilarious.
How many know that Los Angeles...
Hold on. I'm sorry. I thought I was ready for the Maxine Waters clip. But it's so hard to not denigrate this individual. I can't even look at Maxine Waters with a straight face, folks. Okay, let's listen to this. I'm going to try to shut my trap. Let's run it.
How many know that Los Angeles is a sanctuary city? First, do you know that? How many of you know and understand that?
I think most people know it's a sanctuary city because it's run by brain-dead people like Karen Bass. The whole state is run by equally, if not more so, imbeciles like Gavin Newsom. And we are all pretty clear on what a sanctuary city is. That means that our tax dollars are going to illegal aliens to put them in 5-star hotels, ship them anywhere they want to go, give them food, give them medical, give them everything and anything that should be given to, at the very least, our veterans. No, we're giving it to them. So we're aware of what's going on, Mad Maxine. Again, I can't believe Mad Max wasn't up there with Representative Clark and the rest of the village people. Let's go ahead and hit it.
At those people who are on the ground, who are seeing what is going on, should be paid attention to. I don't like the idea that the minute...
They should be paid attention to? I mean, this is the kind of idiocy where a toddler throws a tantrum and then the mom gives them a toy and the mom gives them a reward. They should be paid attention to, all right. They should be paid attention to by being drugged into the nearest holding cell until they are ready for trial.
The president says there's violence. The press kind of responds to that. I was on the ground. I went on the ground on Sunday. I went to downtown detention center to try and get in. They slammed the door in my face.
Oh, my gracious. Imagine slamming the door in Maxine Waters' face. Why would you ever do that? I mean, she's such a lovely individual. Every picture of her, she seems like an extra from the Dark Crystal. She's like a Skeksis brought to life. And she's got a lovely attitude. Why in the world would anyone not let Maxine Waters in? But you missed this, folks. There's no violence going on. I was down there on Sunday trying to get in. I was banging on the door of the detention center. They wouldn't let me in. Of all people, Maxine Waters, why?
There were few people outside. They were not protesting. But guess who really had the attention? It was the National Guard, armed with huge, look like AK-47.
Huge AK-47s? Those are Russian rifles, Maxine. We don't really use those here in Los Estados Unidos. At least not officially. All right, I want you to pick up on this. Mark this down because she's going to keep on mentioning shooting. She only mentions it a few times in this clip. She mentions it numerous times in the next clip. I want you to put that in your memory banks because what they got going on here is some lovely neuro-linguistic programming. Let's keep going.
Huge weapons pointed at the people.
Well, they're pointing the weapons at the people because these violent slugs are throwing rocks at police cars, dragging people out of cars, burning down businesses, robbing people, robbing businesses, breaking in. Why? Why would they do that, Maxine? Why?
On the sidewalk who were barely protesting at all.
Barely
And so,
protesting.
The first thing you got to get it in your heads is you cannot believe what the president is telling you. You've got to understand that he's a liar, that he cannot be trusted, that he wants to get the numbers. He wants to show MAGA crowd that he's in fact getting the numbers he promised he was going to get to deport people out of the country. Now, if you're not careful in the way that you analyze this and you see this, you're going to not understand when martial law is called. You know what is about to happen? I tell you what is about to happen. The National Guard is the first call out. The Marines, the second call out.
He's done both of those, thank God.
Doesn't that cause you to wonder, why are we getting all of these armed forces out?
Maxine, they're calling these people out because the police in your state can't handle it.
When the protests, and even those who were out of step with what we are advocating, peaceful protest, did not create any violence. Nobody was shot. Nobody was killed. Get it in your head. And so...
Nobody was shot. Nobody was killed. Pull this one up for me, folks. Pull this one up. Let me go over here. Let me see. I know I got it over here. I'm sorry. There we go. That's what we're trying to get here. Body found on downtown LA sidewalk near looted businesses. I'm guessing that was just a coincidence, right? Yeah, it's totally coincidental. Nothing to see here. Body found on downtown sidewalk. Nothing to see here, folks.
How many know that Los Angeles is a sanctuary city? First, do you know to people what happened in Paramount, what happened in Compton, what happened in Inglewood? So, first of all, get it straight. And don't just rely on what you're being told or the few incidents that you saw. He's provoking. He's trying to make sure that he gets people angry. People are worried about separation of families.
Few incidences? Are you kidding me, folks? He's trying to get people upset and angry? They got provocateurs breaking up the sidewalk with hammers and giving them to people to throw. They got other provocateurs using camo, giving out American flags to some of these protesters to get the average American boob that only watches Fox and CNN to believe that it's the actual American citizens, not agent provocateurs, a la the George Floyd joke, that are being brought in, paid for, to destroy the city. All right, I want to really hit this neurolinguistic program in this last clip, all right?
Yesterday, it seems that ICE was in Los Angeles in a number of neighborhoods, but they arrested David Werta, who is the head of one of our SCIU unions. We don't know why. We don't know where he is. We don't know why they're calling in the National Guard. There's no danger. There's no violence. The President of the United States hates Los Angeles because we're a sanctuary city. He doesn't like us, and we're targeted. And so I believe that he really wants to have martial law to show that he's in charge. He's the President of the United States, and all of the city of LA is targeted.
And what do you think the reaction might be from the community at seeing the National Guard here?
Well, the community really is concerned about the National Guard and whether or not they're going to use the weapons that we see.
All right, folks, I will let you count the number of times she references shooting and she references the weapons, because this is clearly neurolinguistic programming. She is programming the average moron out there who's probably taken their maintenance dose of, let's see, weed for sure, because everybody's a weed head piece of garbage. Drinking, obviously, because everybody's a drunk piece of trash. So they're taking those easily. They're probably microdosing on the side because it's the cool thing that all the big tech heads do now. And, of course, like any good stooge, they're probably on some sort of SSRI, and they're probably not employed because they got their worthless degree a la Universidad. And they're probably like living in their mom's basement, or, you know, 5 or 6 of these commie scumbags in a 900 square foot place or something like that. So this is what she is speaking to. She is programming that ilk to do exactly what's coming down. Let's hit it.
Them armed with right here today. Why do they have all these weapons? Who are they going to shoot? And why would they shoot?
They're going to shoot the scumbags destroying the city if they had any testes.
Anybody, even someone was protesting against ICE, being able to try and deport them. Why would they shoot anybody? There's no need to have weapons here.
And
why would you shoot somebody when they're just, like throwing bricks at your car? They're just trying to run you off the road. They're just trying to drag you out of the car. Why would you shoot these people? I mean, it's uncanny.
do you think that this is something that could be handled by local Los Angeles police, or do you think that things had gotten out of hand at all in the last couple of days?
Well, the thing about it is everybody's got to be involved. The citizens have got to understand we live in a democracy, and we have a president who wants to be a dictator.
It's not a democracy. Once again, we have someone who doesn't understand. This is as smart as that Dulce chick with the tight weave braids there. But we know that Maxine's not wearing the tight braids like Dulce, because we know Maxine has got James Brown's headpiece on.
And so the citizens have got to be aware that all of the elected officials got to be involved in this. We got to make sure that something disastrous does not happen, that there is no martial law, that there is no civil war going on here. We're going to try and convince the president by the action of the people protesting that they should not be treating people like this.
Do you think that people should continue to protest?
Oh, absolutely. They've got to say...
This is the very fool that told people to go be violent 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever it was.
We're human beings. Don't treat us like this. Many of these are...
If you were human beings, then you wouldn't be acting like animals, you crazed, rabid fools.
Trying to get our citizenship. We work every day. We're paying taxes. Please don't kill us. Don't shoot us.
Please don't kill us, don't shoot us. Okay, this is the second reference to gun violence.
Don't treat us like this. I think the people have to be involved.
What do you think the response should be from other elected representatives, other Democrats, for example?
Well, we have plenty of elected officials who were on the street yesterday. We know that they were in some of our cities, and elected officials are trying to send a message to the Trump administration that Los Angeles should not be targeted. No city in this country should be targeted, to deport in the way that he wants to show that he's in charge.
He is in charge, Maxine. Did you not understand what a president is? I know you do, because you've been in office for like 30 years. Of course you know. Folks. I think we've just about run it all down for the evening. So remember, just have some fun and watch the cars burn. You can't do everything, but you can do something. Please get out there, do your part, make a difference. Get ready for what's coming, folks. I'll be seeing you sooner or later in the AnomicAge. Be safe.
Thank you for listening to the AnomicAge, a JohnAge project. For past shows, further info, and to comment, go to AnomicAge.com. That's AnomicAge.com. Till next time, thank you for listening to the AnomicAge.